Hello, everybody. Turn on the mic so everybody out there can hear me tonight. Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. This is the podcast where we dive into the deepest, darkest, murkiest waters with our guests. We do not fuck around here. Well, let me calm myself down here. My guests tonight have been listening to their music, so I'm ramped up. But anyway, I digress. I am, of course, your host, your bastard of ceremonies, the number one scumbag himself, Rex Ruger. That's Rex with 3 X's. Count them 1, 2, 3. So dirty and sleazy, they had to give me 3. You also know me as Diamond David Lee Roth Jr. when the hard science confirms it. But look at me. Is there any denying it? Any denying that you're looking at the son of glam, the front man for the band, got 1 million fans, just smoked a few grams, always going out with a bang. Wah babaloo bapa, wah bang bang, hot damn, shazam! Woo! Ooh, after all that, let me give myself a look. Make sure I got my good side. Well, they're all my good side, but. And of course, if you want the locks that rock, use the product that does. Aquanet. Just use responsibly. Because, you know, we do have ozone problems. And of course, this is the podcast where you don't get no frills. You just get the thrills. And that's me. Notice you didn't see any cute little intro, no animation, no theme song, nothing dancing across your screen. That's not what you get here. You see it all, baby. Warts and all. Of course, I am the hair metal high priest, the king of sleaze, the man with the golden voice, and the silk tongue, ladies. Coming to you, as always, from the Blue Lagoon. While I wait for the Pink Pussycat Lounge to be remodeled. And actually, here's our guests right now. So I'm hoping anyway. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
There you are.
Are our technical difficulties over finally, huh?
All right, yeah.
Wow. Thank God that wasn't hard, huh, fellas? You know what? I'm a 49-year-old guy, too, so I find that using technology is very difficult for me as well. You know, I mean...
Yeah, I've had to...
we just didn't grow up with it.
I've had to expand my horizons since being in the band, so...
Oddie can't take his eyes off me, man, because he hasn't seen anybody that looks this good in the glam metal world, you know?
Yeah.
You happen to, now, I'll clue you fellas in, man. This should be a big honor for you because I'm David Lee Roth Jr.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The hard side. Huh?
So you look a little like Bobby Gustafson.
Wow, thanks. I just interviewed him the other day. That's a big compliment. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
He's a butt of ours.
So I got Artie and Oddie. And you know what? You got a really good friend here because he wanted to make sure I didn't fuck up your name. So he sent me.
He told me.
He sent me a text prior too. That's a guy looking out for you. You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So listen, first of all, I love this band. Can't stop listening to it. And I think I almost committed a couple crimes today while listening to you guys. The amount of assaults that I committed in my own mind while I was driving, listening to it.
Yeah.
I probably should be in jail right now. Seriously. But, so damn your eyes. I'm telling you, man, this is where I like my music right here. Just heavy enough where I can understand what the fuck is going on and understand the lyrics. You know what I mean? But cool enough to just, you know, kind of relax to, you know? Are you guys making fun of me over there?
Sorry.
You're making fun of me or him?
No, him.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're next.
I got something in my tooth, so trying to get it out.
I got something in my nose. We're going to clear this out right now.
So you guys are New York guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an upstate New York guy too. I'm up near Syracuse. So
Okay, my wife grew up in Oneida.
Oh, I'm right down the road. Right down the road. My wife
I go there all the time.
Yeah, my wife just went off to work. She works at the hospital up there, up in Oneida. Yeah.
Cool.
So let me ask you. So you guys have been on, kicking around the musical scene for a while. You know, I mean, you guys are obviously like staples in the music industry. You've been doing it for a while, right? Now, you guys have seen, obviously, a lot of changes in the music industry. You guys aren't new to this, but since the band is new, where do you start with a new band, being as that the whole landscape of the music industry has changed now? What direction do you go in?
We don't know. To be honest with you, we just don't know.
We write and play what we want to play. There's no direction. It's from within. Whatever we write and you know, we write some stuff and then we look at each other and go, I don't know if that'll work. And just because it's not as good as the other stuff. So
right.
You know, we've been writing heavy music and this style for so long that that it's kind of all we know. You know,
Yeah.
so there's no new direction. I don't think that we couldn't sell out if we wanted to, because
Right.
we'd have to form another band. You know, if we wanted to go in a new direction, or
Right.
if that answers your question. I mean,
Yeah.
we love what we do. We love coming to practice. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing when you love coming to practice.
That's true. Yeah. So obviously, with there being such a great scene down in New York City, and especially known, for the great hardcore scene that's been down there for years and years. How do you think being New Yorkers? I can hear it in the music because I am a New Yorker. But how does being a New Yorker and having a New Yorker attitude actually shape this music and help you when you're creating it? Because I can hear angry New Yorkers in there. I definitely can. I'm an angry New Yorker, so I know.
Right. I think it's just the DNA, it's just growing up and doing what we did and going through the experiences that we went through, each personal thing, we all have our different stories and our different experiences, and we smash them all together, and this is what we get,
Yeah. Well, so. I'm listening to the album, and about the halfway point, it's kicking my ass, and then slower comes on. And I don't mean tempo. I mean the song's slower. But I loved it though, and I mean this is the utmost compliment. It reminded me a lot of Alice in Chains. Is that deliberate? Do you take any influences from any other bands outside of metal?
Oh yeah, we're huge Alice in Chains fans. And we, like Oddie said, we write to what we want to write to, and we don't care what anybody thinks about it. Really, if this was a project for us. And we enjoyed it so much, and then we realized that people started liking it. So that's kind of, we just do what we want to do. And Slow was a personal thing for me, experience that I went through, and so we threw it on there. We liked the song, so we threw it on.
So what's the creative process like when you guys sit down in the room? Is it like a democracy? Does everybody bring in ideas? Is somebody writing the songs mainly and writing the music, or is it kind of collaborative amongst all you guys?
Yeah, well, Artie writes probably like 80%, and then the rest of us add our 2 cents. Sometimes I'll come in and I'll have the main riff, and other times we're in the studio recording, and we'll jump in and say, I hear this or I hear that. But Artie writes most of the music and the melody lines and the vocals. So he's the main songwriter. But when the finished product is there, it's a collaboration. We all jump in and we say, oh, we like it or we don't like it, or we'll add our I hear this or I hear that, so that kind of thing.
How do you do?
Everybody's got to agree. It's not like, no, I want this part of the song, this is my thing. It's not like that at all. Everybody's got to like what's going on. Nobody wants to be playing a thing and then playing a riff that they don't like.
Their heart's not in it.
Yeah, because we're a live band, so when we're on stage doing our live thing, we all have to be having the time of our lives. That's what it's all about for us.
Sure.
And you can tell when people aren't, and we want to be as original and and as honest as we can be.
Yeah, there are some tough parts, some parts I'll have better than other guys, that night.
Right.
And I'll look over and I'll see Artie like really keep digging in, and I'll laugh at him. And it's lighten the whole mood. Like, I should have to try this hard to play this part. So we all kind of look at each other like, dude, you're kind of doing it again, So
and those are the nights. I think those are the nights when Artie probably thinks he's carrying you guys, right?
No.
Never.
No. I can tell. I can hear it. So when you guys sit down and write, because you can hear all the angst in this, in the music, you guys come in with any kind of ideas. Like, what do you use for motivation? I can obviously hear stories of a lot of personal experience in here. Where does that come from, though? Like, I mean, to create that kind of music, I mean, are you really just a group of unhappy, pissed off guys?
No.
You look pretty happy.
Not at all.
Not
at all.
No. It's just like I said, he writes both the lyrics and the melody lines. So it's just from life experiences in the past or something that's going on today. It's just, and then it comes out extremely heavy,
Right.
Some of it's not even like my own personal experience. I'll take something else or something that's going on in the world, and I'll try to look through their eyes and come up with something with that, and it's just a flow thing. It's not, I don't I have an idea for a song, I want to write about this.
Right.
It's kind of like a line comes out or a melody idea, and that I start with that, and I can branch off of it and takes on a life of its own.
And do you ever come in with stuff that's like topical? You know what I mean? Like with a song like Weaponized or something like that. Like, do you ever come in with like ideas of like, oh, I just saw this on the news? Or do you look at the social landscape around you and ever use any of that as like motivation for songs?
A little bit. I think it just happens, you know, because, you know, you're watching or something's going on in the world and it kind of just happens. It's not like, you know, I really want to touch on the subject. I think that we can make a difference or anything like that. You know, we're not those kind of guys. We're not
You're
trying
venting.
to make a statement, really. It's just, you know, sometimes the songs make a statement, but it's not meant to be. You know, it's kind of just one of those things where it happens.
Right. There's that one, like, we have an unreleased one. It's called Sonic God. And I was, you know, watching one of my favorite YouTube guys, you know, like just a motivational kind of speaker kind of guy. And he was talking about Sonic God. And I was like, I just wrote it down. I said, oh, that's a good title. So I gave it to Artie and he wrote about it. So my idea when I was listening to it is completely different than what he wrote about.
Right.
The title itself is cool, and he ran with it. So, you know, it's like that. You know?
He said, I have this riff, and it's called Sonic God.
Right.
Okay.
So he named the riff. You already had the riff already named. That was
Sonic
it.
God riff.
Yeah. And it's named Sonic God. It's okay. So I took that and made it into you know what it is. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, Artie. I already named this riff. So.
There's a couple of songs on the album that Artie and I, when we were in our, I think 20s, right, late 20s.
Yeah.
We wrote back then, but we never put a melody to it. We never we jammed it with a drummer at some point, and we knew they were good riffs. So then we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and then when we got together this time around, we were, you know, he had them formed out a little bit better, and then we created them into what they are today.
Right. So having been in the business and done other projects and been involved in the music business for years, you've obviously, like I said earlier, you've seen, you know, the whole industry, the whole business change, much different business now from what you guys probably grew up, you know, I mean, selling records and stuff like that. It's just not the same business anymore. With the stuff that you've seen and learned along the way, has it helped you to adapt with the way the musical landscape is now? Because obviously it's very difficult, you know, to actually, you know, everyone seems to be chasing the same nickel. You're putting your music on platforms, you're getting paid or you're not getting paid for it. You know, how do you guys approach it as guys that are veterans of the music scene? How do you adapt in today's music scene?
People get paid for this?
That's what I've heard, right?
This has been costing us money. I didn't know that.
I'm sure it probably is. I know, that's the sad truth of it. I know.
Yeah, I can answer that. We don't do it for the money. You know, if we get paid here and there, it's a very small amount, and it goes back into the band, or, you know, we go get something to eat. But you know, hopefully one day it will turn into some sort of money, and you know, that'll be really nice. But honestly, we don't do it for the money. We never did.
Are you guys putting this stuff out kind of like a DIY approach, or are you guys, because I don't have that here, are you guys on a label, or are you not on a label?
No, we're not on a label. No, we do everything ourselves.
And you prefer it that way?
No, but
no. You know, it's just the opportunities. You know, we're just pushing and having a good time doing this, and you know, things are starting to you know, little things are starting to happen, and we'll see where it goes. You know, would we like to be on a label? Sure, I would help out with some stuff. I know it's very different now than it was back then.
Yeah.
But our main thing is we want to get on the road. You know, we want to go out with the bigger bands and open up for them, play in front of their crowds.
Yeah, sure.
Show our live experience, because as good as our recordings are, our live shows are better.
I mean, here's a personal story between me and Artie. Like,
please.
We went out and played some shows in Ohio. You know, just a little weekend run. And the first show, no one showed up. You know, and we promoted the shit out of it, and the guy who got us the show said, "Oh, there's gonna be tons of people there," you know, whatever. and then like a week later, we were driving around, and we had the conversation, and I said, "Listen," I said, "Look, no one even showed, and we tried really hard to get people to come down there, you know." And Artie said, "Well, what do we do?" And I said, "We do it for ourselves. That's it. Like we've always done. Don't worry about it. But we don't get our hopes up, and we don't, you know, get distracted by that shit, because you know, just the other night we played, and it was this little shithole bar with the stage in the corner, and we bashed it, and the people loved it, and it was just, you know, everything we we want it in it. That's why we
Yeah.
do it, you know. And like Artie was saying, it's growing now, and
Yeah.
that's why we're glad we haven't gave up on it, because you know, a couple of nights no one showed up, you know. So we just keep plugging away.
Yeah, and those little dive bars are the best.
They're the best.
They're the best. You know?
They are the best. They are the best.
Yeah.
The closest one, the closest one to me is out in Syracuse. It's a dive called the Lost Horizon. So I'd love to see.
My wife talks about that a lot.
Yeah.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
It fell under different management for a while, and they changed its name for several years, and it was kind of doing more like a dance club thing. But now it's back to being the Lost Horizon and back to having metal shows and stuff there. So
that's cool.
We'll drive up this weekend and play.
Come on up. I'll put you up in the guest bedroom. No problem. But do you find though, like when you go and do those small shows though, like and how you had just mentioned, you promote this shit out of it, and then you look out there and you're playing for like a half a dozen people. How hard is it? I mean, I know I can see that you guys do it because you genuinely love it, but is it hard to get up for a show like that though? Like when you look on the audience and see that, because I'm not a musician, so like what does that feel like when you do put so much work into it, and these are great songs, and then you go out there and there's 4 or 5 drunks out,
Right. It's about to let you down, and then we kind of all group together and say, "Fuck it, let's just kick ass at it. Don't even worry about it." You know, like. And there's a saying I learned from Rex Brown. I was on tour with him for 1 minute, and I shared this with the guys here and there. And it's like, you're only as good as your last show, you know. And we just put it out there. It could be discouraging a little bit. It almost gets in your head.
Sure.
And then you just have to, look past it and just have fun, play your hardest, and it's just another show. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
We have so much fun at rehearsal, playing with each other at rehearsal, that when that happens, it's just another rehearsal for us in a different room, and we're having fun with each other anyway. So
sure.
So we drove 10 hours for rehearsal, These things happen,
Right. Those things, they do happen. So talk to me a little bit about, I think obviously if people listen to your sound, and I've seen it described a couple of different ways on there, metal, stoner metal. I hate a lot of the different genres and the subgenres and everything. I just look at you guys as a rock band, but I can hear elements of that punk rock hardcore sound. How much of that influences your sound? Because obviously New York is known to have a huge hardcore scene, legendary hardcore bands. Have any of those bands affected you stylistically?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I grew up a big Biohazard guy, Leeway.
Yeah. I can hear it.
Sick of it all, that kind of thing. But I love all that stuff. I mean, metal was my go-to, but I enjoyed all that stuff, and so I guess it's in there. I don't know.
It is.
We don't try to do anything. We just kind of do it. Kenny's here. He's mooning us. So
nothing's intentional. Oh, listen, Kenny. I mean, I'm absolutely blown away by
I
Kenny.
charged for that.
Kenny, I gotta say, Kenny, vocals, unbelievable, buddy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Thank you. You're right.
Yeah.
You're fucking right.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, he eats that microphone.
He does. Yeah, he really does. He does. And I know a little something about that, being the king of glam metal bands. I mean, I'm a front man myself. Look at me. I mean, you know.
You go. Yeah.
You're gonna go tell people.
Like they said, we're in it just to have fun and play our hearts out. It doesn't matter.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So the other thing I want to ask you, what's the vision for this band? Obviously, you'd mentioned that you wanted to get on a label or whatever, but like, where do you see this band like going? Like you said, you want to get on some big tours or whatever. Do you have another? Will we see another record before we see any of these big tours?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yes. He says yes. So I guess we'll write another record. Yeah, we don't know. We just want a shot. We want a legitimate shot to get out there, and I think that if we get that shot, it's going to change for us. We're there. This is a monster of a band, and we're just.
I couldn't agree more. Now I saw you put something on Facebook when it was Hetfield's birthday the other day, and you wrote on there something that was very poignant. You said he's the reason that you play guitar. So you're obviously a huge Metallica fan, correct?
Yeah, I'm a huge Metallica fan, mostly early stuff. But back in the day, Hetfield, his the way he played, his look, his attitude, the whole thing was just like mesmerizing to me.
Yeah,
and his pick hand was so amazing. I was a rhythm player. Mostly, I still am mostly a rhythm guy, and he was the one guy that made me go, this is exactly what I want to do. And then there were
Yeah.
other guys, you know, Dime came along and stuff, and
Sure.
maybe just love it more. But Het was the guy, you know, he's the godfather for me, you know. Yeah.
And since you brought that up, and it is very topical right now, and by the time I get you guys' episode up, I imagine it still will be, because it doesn't look like they're doing anything till next year. But where do you stand on this whole Pantera reunion? Are you for it, against it? Do you like the guys that they got to take Vinny and Dime's place?
Well, you know what? That's their decision, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
If they feel comfortable doing it, let them do it. You know, it's not my, you know, I don't put.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you like the
I
guys
didn't
they
know
got?
anything about it.
Oh, you don't know.
Kenny.
And you like the
Kenny
guys
lives
that they
under a
got?
rock.
Yeah, you don't know anything about it.
He lives under a rock in my
You don't know anything
backyard.
about it.
Kenny,
you didn't say anything. Now you're worried about it.
Kenny, we got to get you in the loop here, buddy. Pantera's
Yeah.
gonna get back together.
Pantera's coming back.
You think they got the right guys, though? Do you like getting Zach and Charlie from Anthrax, though? That's a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Artie said, it's their choice. Obviously, they fit, you know. So I like both of them. I think they're both great. So
Yeah, Charlie's a monster, you know, drummer, and he was good friends with Dime, and
Yeah.
and Zach was really good friends with Dime. So why not them? You know, it's not some unknowns that are going up there. It's you know, part of their family, their group. You know.
Right. So you guys had mentioned about, you know, your strength actually on an album, but your real strength being in the live venue. Why do you say that, and what makes you guys such a great live band?
practice, lots of practice.
Yeah. Apparently you're driving 10 hours for them.
Yeah. We rehearsed a lot.
We're getting ready to rehearse now.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have this group of guys. That
Yeah.
Some of us. have
Everybody's on
known-
the same page.
We've known each other for 3
Yeah.
decades, you know, and
Yeah.
playing in different bands. And this lineup is magical, and it really just automatically brings out the best.
Yeah, we still walk out of rehearsal like, oh shit, we kicked that down. It sounded great down there.
Yeah.
And it was like CD quality down there, man. It was great.
So you guys are very but what do people expect when they come and see you live, though? I mean, is it a lot of like it's what?
Their money back, he said.
Nobody's asking for their money back, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can tell just by listening to you guys on an album that I'm sure that the live experience is absolutely phenomenal. So when you guys say you'd like to get out on a big tour, do you yourself have bands in mind that you could see yourself out on tour with that you feel like would be a good fit? I mean, or is it just at the point where like anybody that'll take us?
Just the biggest ones.
Just
No,
the biggest ones. Okay.
Oh yeah, well,
Fair enough.
listen, we love a lot of bands. So like,
Yeah.
we love to go out with Gojira. We love to go out with, you know, even the old time Anthrax or Testament or
Sure.
Hatebreed. We love to go out with Hatebreed. You know,
Yeah.
There's so many bands I'd love to go out with. We just want to go out. You know.
Yeah.
There's not like a band that's like we want to just go out with these guys. We go out with anybody that had, you know, a crowd that we could get in front of and have a good time with. You know.
I want to
What's
go
the
out
biggest-
with Crawford.
Go ahead. So like, so what's the hardest part when you are starting a band though, and you're not on a label? Is it just having to pour your own money and your own time and resources into things and not having any support? And does it really make a huge difference? I mean,
A little, not huge.
no, not huge.
A little bit. I mean, like I said before, it tries to creep into your head when you're, you know, putting so much into it and getting no return. But we just continue to push through because we love it. So it's like the love for it is way stronger than the negatives. You know.
Yeah.
And what's
There are times where Oddie and I will pour out our frustrations for about 5 minutes and then be like, you know what, we're extremely blessed to have this group of guys, and what are we complaining about? We're having the time of our lives anyway. You know.
Yeah. And now, what's Kenny's fucking pre-practice ritual to belt out those lyrics? You guys just throw him a raw steak and just off he goes? Just an animal?
Yeah. He cracks jokes.
He likes.
Yeah.
He doesn't look quite as lead singerish as I do, though. I mean,
Yeah. Well.
It's all in the back because it's hot.
Yeah.
Probably,
There it is. There it is.
It's probably because there's no gimmick. It's just us. You know what I mean? We don't wear. I mean, I got a Buckethead shirt on, I guess, you know, but
Right.
we don't. You know, we don't try to look like the part. It just is.
Right. Now, being New York guys, are we sports fans at all?
Yeah. Hockey, football, baseball, yeah.
And your teams are all New York teams?
Yes.
They are? Yours are not.
No. I'm into hockey. I'm a Rangers
You're into
fan.
hockey. Who are your teams, though, Oddie? Who?
Jets.
Jets?
Freaking Jets. Rangers and Mets.
Yeah, I'm a huge Mets fan. We're having a great year this year.
Mets are doing great.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I might actually see another World Series in my lifetime.
The Mets have a new confidence. It's great to watch.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they don't. It is amazing. They don't look like the same old Mets.
No, it's amazing.
It's
different. Really amazing.
It's freaking different. No doubt.
Artie's out of the loop over there because he must be a defector. You like somebody in another state, huh?
I'm a Lions fan, Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, really?
I'm a Yankee fan, but I do root for the Mets. So I'm not like one of those.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Gabby just showed up. Say hello, Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
How are you? Who are you?
Love the album. Love the album.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
Sounds fantastic.
He didn't know he was walking into it. And
No, that's all right. That's all right.
This is Mike Popper. He's filling in for Darren right now. Well, Darren.
Hi.
Better.
How you doing?
He's a monster smasher right here.
I love this. I love this. It's like a big, it turned into a whole big group thing. I love it. It's like
this is how we roll, man.
All we need is the keg in the middle of us all here, and we got something going here, right?
We got a keg of coffee. We're gonna be up all night.
Now, who's this handsome guy behind you again? You said that's who?
This is Mike Podber.
Podber. We call him Pobs.
And what does he do? What does he do for the band?
He's a drummer.
I thought you just said the other guy was the drummer.
No, that's Gabby. He's the guitarist.
Yeah, he's the other guitar
He's
player.
going
Okay. Well, hey, kudos to you too. I love the album. It's fantastic. I got to keep telling everybody as they come through.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you just say he doesn't play on it?
No, he didn't play on the album.
He didn't play on the album. He's
well, never mind. I take it back then. No.
Yeah.
This guy right here, one of the best drummers in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. One of the best.
We
in the world. I play with a lot of drummers. He's one of the best. Dude. I'm telling you.
Now,
extremely good.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, I just want your opinion on this. Now, the big four that we currently have that everybody knows of, and I've asked other heavy bands this before. If you couldn't have those four, who would be the next big four? Is there another big four out there?
No.
For me, like personally,
Yeah.
it would probably be like Testament, Suicidal.
Yeah.
Pantera. You know the original Pantera.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And
Exodus?
I don't know. I'm not a big Exodus guy.
Death
I
Angel?
think they're awesome.
A lot of good ones out there.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
I'm glad that you said Suicidal Tendencies, though. Nobody ever says Suicidal Tendencies when I ask them. They're always left off.
I love it. I love Suicidal Tendencies.
It's sad that they don't get more recognition. You know, I mean, well, they haven't really, but they haven't
They
really
do okay.
But they haven't really been doing a lot, though, have they? I mean,
they've been touring like crazy.
Are they? Yeah, they're touring like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got that drummer.
Yeah, that Brandon, I think his name is. Oh my God, this kid playing drums for them is unreal.
For Suicidal.
Yeah. He's young. He's so energetic. We got to open up a show, Suicidal. Me and Gabby played for Holly Flanagan, so we did the Misfits shows. You know, with the Return of the Misfits, whatever. And one of them was Suicidal, and I was just watching him the whole show. The kid was unreal. Yeah, that kid is awesome.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Artie's correct. We were on tour and we saw him play one of the stadium gigs with the Misfits. That kid is really good.
Sit here.
Yeah. Well, they had Lombardo. Didn't they have Dave Lombardo drumming for him for a little while?
Yeah, and now he's with Testament. So.
Yeah. Revolving door. It's a revolving door with some of these guys. It really is how they change parts and just slide into each other's jobs. It's kind of cool.
I was fortunate enough to see Dave Lombardo play with Suicidal in Philly, and he crushed it.
He's a monster.
Yeah. I played with Dave Lombardo in a German metal band in the middle of the 90s called Voodoo Cult. We did a record together.
I remember Voodoo Cult.
Yeah, so I played with Dave and Valdemar, the guitarist from Grip, was friends with Artie and me. So I was in the band with them with Philip Boa. That was from 94 to 95. And
Valdemar made this cup.
Nice. I love the cups.
That's
cups.
all right.
So we did the tour with Dave, and then after that he split to do Grip, and we did another tour with a German drummer. But yeah, Dave's amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing. Now, I heard you say earlier that you had a relationship with Harley Flanagan. So knowing him on a personal level, will we ever see the actual Cro-Mags line up again, or is there too much of a rift between John Joseph and Harley?
I think you're more likely to see the original Pantera lineup together.
I can answer the question very easy for you because I joined that band in the end of 1990 when I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in hell that John will ever play with Harley or to have anything to do with them ever again.
It's
So
too deep of a rift. Too deep of a rift. Yeah.
It's not a rift. It's just, how many times is something foul going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. So
yeah,
there's no way. And there's no way I can't really speak for Mackie, but I would assume that there's no way Mackie would do it either.
Yeah. Pretty sad though.
And there's no way, I'm pretty sure there's no way Dog would do it either also.
No, but it's pretty sad though because they were such a legendary hardcore band. I mean, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, but the original lineup didn't cease being in like the 80s. Really, I mean, the guys. You're talking about the Age of Quarrel lineup.
Yeah.
No, that was over in the 80s.
Yeah. So, what's next for you guys as far as like, are you out playing live shows right now? Are you focusing on the album?
We have a bunch of shows lined up. We also, Gabby, Oddie, and Mike also play for Eddie Sutton and Leeway. So we're doing a show this Sunday, like a hardcore matinee show that Drew Stone put together in Manhattan. So both bands are playing that, and then we have a show October 1st with Prong here on the island.
Oh, nice.
And then we and a couple other bands, local bands, and then we have some other. We have a show in Jersey with Leeway. We have a show on Long Island, just the Damn Your Eyes show with another band, Vocal Pass from the island here. So we're just booking shows and doing it.
And is it absolutely epic that that Damn Your Eyes, when put into an acronym, is DYE and spells die? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. And I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you. I'm driving along and listening to that album today, man, and I was just. I don't know what was coming over me, but I could have assaulted somebody. I very much could have assaulted somebody. It's kind of music that kicks someone's ass.
That's Kenny's fault.
That's Kenny's fault. Thanks a lot, Kenny. Thank you. If I get any charges, I hope you're going to come and legally represent me. Are you also a lawyer?
No, and you do not want me to legally represent.
You shouldn't be singing these songs if you can't provide legal defense for people. I mean, it's just not fair.
Unless it's a female judge, I might be able to work something.
Possibly, yeah. And every time I imagine the crime too, it was always either strangling or bludgeoning.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of bludgeoning. Yeah. Which is not the way anybody wants to go.
I'm glad that our music makes you that angry.
Thank you. Us angry Republicans, we got to get it out somewhere. I mean. But listen, I appreciate you. I know you guys had band practice. I appreciate you spending some time with me, man. I love what you guys are doing, man. I'm looking forward to so much more of it, man. You guys are a great bunch of guys. I appreciate you getting on here and, well, and now you guys have a story to tell your grandkids that you met David Lee Roth Jr.
Hey, listen, thanks for having me.
It's just as much. So just keep in mind, it's just as much. This was just as much an honor for you guys as it was for me.
Yes, it was. Well, I'm going to tell my grandkids about this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you saying that, Artie. Thank you. Listen, thank you for the time, guys. Have a good practice, and looking forward to whatever you guys do. Thank you very much.
You got it, bro. Have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night, guys. Thank you. Thank you. See you later, Artie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there's Artie trying to shut off his phone. There's Artie trying to shut off his phone. Look at that. We're still getting Artie. Look at because he can't.
This is my biggest fan right here.
Artie can't figure out his technology, so he can't get off the air.
Say hello to my dog.
Hi, dog.
All right, have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. There you have it. Great bunch of guys. Who knew we were going to get the whole goddamn band on there? Everybody from Damn Your Eyes strolled in. Pretty amazing. Thought I was only going to get one at first, and then it was two, and now all of a sudden it was a whole goddamn band. Check out Damn Your Eyes. If you like hard music, Machine Head, Pantera, that kind of music, but with fantastic comprehensible. You can understand the lyrics. Heavy with some shades of Alice in Chains, some haunting darkness in there. Excuse me. That's very unfront man like. But I digress. Go out and check out Damn Your Eyes. Great guys. Originally, we were joined by Artie Alexander and Oddie McLaughlin, 2 great guys. But they're all great guys. Kenny, the vocalist, just all monster players. And you heard them all praising each other, that they're fantastic musicians. And this album, let me tell you, Kill the Outside. Now, it came out in 2019, so it's a couple of years old or whatever, but listen, that's the way the music business is now. People aren't just putting out things every 6 fucking months unless they're singles, you know? People are putting out stuff and letting the public digest it. So go back and digest this album. Do yourself a favor, go back and digest it because it's good shit. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Pod Scum. Till then, I am your host, Rex Ruger, reminding you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.